as I was going through your story, you're obviously started in 2014, but you're growing. You've gained employees. You've doubled your assets under management. But your thematic part of investing is really interesting. Tell us about it.
Sure. Thematic investing is an opportunity for investors that want to be in a particular sector, but really don't want to have to pick a single stock that best represents that sector.
Right. You picked some hot areas, no doubt.
So areas like medical marijuana, our MJ fund, cybersecurity, our hack fund, mobile payments, iPay, artificial intelligence, AIEQ, all of these represent very, very hot, interesting sectors for the investing public. But again, the most difficult thing for them to do is really find the best stock that most represents it. So we build ETF portfolios that represent those.
So, and you spend a lot of time on quality control and innovation. And so tell us a little more about that. Some examples of that.
Well, when I first started the company in 2014, it was myself and a consultant. We're now a group of 25. We started with about a little over $1 million under management. We now have $4 billion under management across 12 different funds. And so as the firm has grown, we have added the kinds of people necessary to make sure that we're offering the best, most highly researched products in the ETF space. So that includes a research team, trading, compliance, a broker-dealer, new product and operations people. So, it really is, while it's only 24, 25 people, it really is a microcosm of what you need to do to effectively operate in the ETF space.
I know that you have gaming and cybersecurity and all of these things that are hot right now, but I wanted to talk about cannabis in particular. Sure. That group actually hasn't done particularly well in the last quarter, but you see growth for that group.
We do. I mean, the fund was launched at the end of 2016. It has done extremely well from a return standpoint.
Right.
Even though the sector's down quite a bit, it's up, I believe, over 23% this year to date. It is the most interesting sector I've seen, and I've been in financial services now for over 30 years. Everybody wants to be able to take advantage of changing regulation, changing sentiment, the different applications, whether it's CBD oils for joint pain or for helping your pets, or it's medical marijuana for things like taking care of some of the ailments that just people were not able to deal with. #1 treatment for children's epileptic seizure derived from cannabis.
That's pretty amazing.
So
you like this one a lot,
we do.
Right? What about the digital payment space? I mean, this space actually has done really well this quarter. When you look at names such as Visa and MasterCard, you also had PayPal and American Express in there. Tell us about that.
So iPay, which is the ticker, is a mobile payments ETF that allow people access to this growing sector. It was launched in 2015. People really were just starting to learn a lot about what the sector is, but now stand in a Starbucks line and people are paying with their phones. PayPal now, everybody uses it for online shopping. And that's actually a fund that's up over 33% year to date and brought in over $200 million in the last 2 weeks of new assets.
Out of curiosity, you have thoughts on Facebook's new Libra crypto? Waiting to see on that.
I will wait and see. I find crypto to be a very interesting area. We don't have anything in it. We don't really understand it, so therefore we're not willing to obviously pursue an ETF on something like that. But I mean, Facebook is dominating their space. So
it's interesting to hear that from an expert with a huge research team that just at this time you're in a wait and see mode. You're not really jumping into that area as Bitcoin's over 11,000 today. Let's go to another area, which is cybersecurity. You have Hack as your ticker symbol, very appropriate, with key names that we know very well.
So Hack was launched in November 2014. It is a $1.5 billion ETF, so it's the largest in the world, focused on cybersecurity. When you think about cyber, $1 trillion will be spent between 2017 and 2021. $6 trillion is the budgeted spend over that same period globally for companies that really need to develop cybersecurity and deal with a lot of the things. One needs to just look at the current political turmoil and see how cyber is then impacted and why something like Hack gives investors that kind of access.
And I saw you have Cisco, Symantec, Splunk, Palo Alto. We just had CrowdStrike here listing here. I know it's not listing here. I know it's not in your group. Of your funds, which are the more risky and which would be the less risky?
By risky, do you mean as far as
let's say I want to put some
sector,
money in,
or-
and someone's watching today, and
Right.
they say, hey, I want to invest with this guy. I like the guy. I like the ideas of his funds. I want to have one that's a little more risk and one that's I'm going to make sure not to lose
Sure.
money. What would you recommend to them?
So, I mean, MJ, which is cannabis, and it's certainly an area that's growing, and we think will continue to grow. Again, cybersecurity, mobile payments. Rule number one, invest in the things that you're using and that you know.
Right.
And I don't know whether medical marijuana will touch everybody, but probably CBD, since you can get it in your coffee down the street now. But things like cyber, mobile payments, even gaming. I mean, who doesn't have some type of a gaming app, either with their kids they're using
Right.
in their homes? We go to the other side, too. We have things like we have a dry goods shipping ETF, which gives people access to the shipping of things like iron ore around the globe as a way
Right.
to kind of bet
And that's not
that growth in
gonna
the economy.
much.
It's not going to
That's
change.
That's gonna probably be a steady eddy.